Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Sweating Geography YouTube channel. Today, City Quiz League Season 4 is officially out. So this is week 1. It looks good. I've looked through them, tried to formulate some thoughts, some things I can say, get all my 50-50s thought out so I don't have to ponder for too long because I feel like that'd be annoying to watch. But yeah, so the new edition this season, there might be more new additions during as the week goes on, as the season goes on. I can't talk today, but as the minute he has added one new round for a random country. So every week there will be a random country and 3 cities in that country exclusively. So pretty cool, decent new addition. I like it. Anyways, let's get started with the cities. So Europe round 1. This one is in Montenegro. So these 3 cities are pretty easy. I could see messing some of these up, but so Montenegro is going to be Bar. Italy should be Brindisi, and Bulgaria should be Burgas. I think it's Burgas and not Burgos. Burgos, I believe, is the one in Spain, and Burgas is Bulgaria. I sometimes mix those up, but I think that should be right. BBB. Maybe there's a pattern here. Okay. All right, so now we have these 3, which again are pretty easy. We have Uppsala in Sweden. In Latvia there, that's Liepaja, capital of the Kurzeme region. And Zwolle in the Netherlands. So yeah, and now going on to the 3rd out of 4 Europe rounds, we have some more ones here that were pretty easy, big cities for their country. Some of them are subdivisions as well. So in Ireland, we have Sligo, which is one of the counties. Also one of, I believe, the first 100 locations on AP&W, so I do remember that one pretty well. The UK is going to be Norwich, and French should be, excuse my pronunciation, Quimper. I'm trying to learn. It's, I think, getting better. All right. Now we have, okay. So this is the toughie. This one's definitely harder. So I think I thought about this Switzerland a lot. And I think my thing is Thun. Cuz Bern is here. And I couldn't think of any other city in this general region. Mostly because I'm bad at Switzerland, but this general region, Bern, and then I think it's called Thun there is the city. The Liechtenstein one, apologies, is much harder. So Liechtenstein, obviously, very, very small country, but actually has a fair bit of cities that people know because of subdivisions. And we can't have capitals in this quiz. And I don't think it's Schaan, because Schaan would be further north. So Liechtenstein, we can know it's this area. But what I'm getting from this dot is, if we look at the center of their dot, it's kind of in the southwest, which the only city, or really settlement, in the southwest of Liechtenstein is Boltzers. So it's its own subdivision and everything. It's a town, but I think that should be the answer. I hope. If it's not, it could be Triesen or Triesenberg, because those are also in the south, but I'm feeling decently confident about Boltzers. And then over here in Austria, we should, I believe, have Villach. This one's kind of a 50-50 between Villach and Klagenfurt. Because Klagenfurt, I think, is further east. It's here. But Villach, I think I'm good on that. Could be messed up, though. I'm pretty confident on 100% of Europe here. All right. So Asia, it gets a lot harder. So these 2 are, I think, easy. The Oman's pretty easy. It's Salalah. I think that's how you spell that. And then, so the Saudi Arabia, upon thinking, I can remember that one of the subdivisions down there, I think it's one of the smaller ones in Saudi Arabia, is called Jazan. I think that's kind of pulling it out of my butt, but I can't say I've ever seen the town, but my best guess is that it's named after the subdivision. So I hope that that's fine. And then this one, I believe, is Al Hudaida. So pretty big city, but it's been in the news. I think I'm spelling that right. I don't know. I think I'm spelling that wrong, but I hope he accepts it. So Al Hudaida, been in the news quite a bit because, Yemeni civil war and all that kind of stuff. So you might see this one on the telly on the occasion. All right. Okay, so this one, off the bat, looking at this, this is just impossible. Clearly, from what I can tell, this Kyrgyzstan one, as it's described, is just to try to figure out who's cheating, because this is not. I don't know. I don't think it's a feasible city to know. Maybe it is. Maybe this is something I should know, or maybe the dot's kind of weird. I mean, there's a city that I can't remember what it's called though. I do know a city down here, but I can't recall it at the minute. So I would guess that, but I can't think of anything. So the top one in Kazakhstan is Taraz. It shares the same name with the city up here called Talas because it's just two different language names for the river that flows through them. There was a pretty recent discussion in the Discord about that. There's a couple messages about Taraz and Talas. This one, I think is something like Namangan or Jamangan, but I can't remember which letter it is. I think I'm going to go with Namangan, but I don't remember because I'm not very good at Central Asia. You know what? I'm going to put Jamangan and Namangan because I don't have a prayer getting this. Especially if it's frickin' Kyrgyzstan, bro. Alright. So this is a little bit easier. So this is an awesome city. So because India recognizes North Sentinel Island as a settlement, because they don't really know how many people live there, but they estimate it to be 15 or something. There's a big range of what it could be, but they do have it marked as an actual settlement, and therefore it is on City Quiz. So I believe this should be North Sentinel Island, which is so badass. And then we go over here. So this is Phuket. Pretty large Thai city there. So, and then this one, I had a little bit more trouble with because I'm pretty bad at Myanmar. But of the few cities I know, I'm pretty sure this should be Tongui. I know I pronounced that terribly because I cannot pronounce that language. Burmese, I think. Is that just the language? I feel like I'm wrong on that. Please correct me. But yeah, I think this is Tongyi, which I think is spelled like that. So maybe it's wrong, but I think that's a decent guess. Yeah, so I'm pretty confident with this round. This round I'm not confident in this one very much. I hope one of these two guesses is correct. Taraz, I'm fairly sure. Okay, so this one is tougher because China's hard. And this area is also pretty dense. So the Japan one I was fairly sure was Miyazaki. It's just, I don't know. It's on the coast in that part of Kyushu. Not Kyushu. Oh my god. Moving on. South Korea. South Korea. So this one, if you kind of circle at the center of the dot, you can tell it's right here, which is, so I originally had thought Busan, but after thinking a little bit, I don't think it is, because I think Busan is more on the south coast. And I think, so the two cities that I think are up here are Ulsan and Pochang. And I wanted to say Pochang was more up here. So I'm gonna go with Ulsan on this one. It's a little bit tougher, given this isn't exactly my region, but I think it'll be fine. It's also a pretty big city. All right, this one, very large city here, Shanghai-ish area. South Shanghai, my first thought was Ningbo, and I think that is probably correct. I can't think of anything else that big that would be there, so gonna go with Ningbo. All right, so Africa, this round is pretty easy for me. So it's helped me quite a bit in the past couple weeks because my current Conflict of Nations World War III game, I am playing as the Democratic Republic of the Congo, and have invaded all three of, currently own all three of the cities on this. So, the Angola one down south here is Luena. And right here, this is Kikwit. And then the Republic of the Congo one is Dolisi. A little bit smaller, but also is featured on the I'm doing a thing called the World City Challenge, where it goes through a lot of smaller countries and eventually works up the larger countries, but goes through the most famous cities in those countries. Most famous is marked by monthly Wikipedia views. So it's pretty interesting. But yeah, Dolisi is also on that, so helps out. This one is silly. So this one is not Morocco or Ceuta. What they should have done here is specified that it's not the city Ceuta, because what I believe this is the other city that's in the Ceuta thing. I had a conversation, I forget what it was called. I wasn't going to answer it regardless. But yeah, this was kind of crazy. I don't... Very hard. Again, I feel like this is probably a thing, at least for most people, to be like, oh, that person's probably cheating. But yeah, the other two I'm fairly confident in, or at least this one I'm somewhat, but this one I'm pretty sure is Kaya. Recently studied some Burkina Faso. And then this one, so North Togo, I know it starts with Da. I think it's Da Guang is the city name, but I really can't remember if that's correct or not. I'm going to go with it, and I'll just leave him a smiley face, because I can't think of any alternate spelling that would be reasonable. Okay, let's try that. Hopefully that works. All right, and so round 11 North America here is definitely a lot easier than we've had in the past, although this is tough. Like, I do not really know what this is. I do have a guess, though. I've made a guess. So, Canada here should just be Sherbrooke. Very large city down in that part of Montreal, Quebec, I'm sorry. So yeah, pretty big, and just nothing really else to say about it. The main one I had a little bit of trouble with, but I'm pretty sure it's just Portland. I thought, is it like Everbanger or something? Because I'm pretty bad at remembering where these main coastal cities are, but I think it should just be Portland. New York here. So this is New York, which is tough, because you can see it's not quite New York City, but I don't think it's too far north to be like Yonkers or Whitefield or something. So what I think I'm going to go with here is West Point. So West Point, obviously the very famous, one of the, probably the biggest, U.S. military city. There's the West Point University is all the military stuff. They got all sorts of monuments and everything. But yeah, I don't know if it has a large population, but I would assume they might, because of all the military personnel that are there, if they count that. So I'm going to go with that. I think that's reasonable. I don't know if it'll be right, but I like to think it's an okay guess. So this one, significantly easier than we've had in the past. This California is a giant city. This is Bakersfield. And then the Texas one here, Lubbock. These have just been pretty easy. And then old Mexico here. So I thought this was Guaymas for a second, but I think Guaymas is up here, and I know Guaymas is on the coast. So I think I've settled on Ciudad Obregón, because I think it's more south and it's not on the coast. And I can't tell you exactly where it is, but I know it's near Guaymas. So I think that's a good guess. I'm pretty confident with a lot of this. I'm feeling good so far. Don't know if it's first place worthy, but I think I can be close. This one, I'm sure of all of them. The Cuba one is Pinar del Rio. The Belize one is Dangriga. And the Honduras one is La Ceiba. So yeah, all of these are pretty large cities for the country. Dangriga is damn small. Dangriga's got less than 5,000. No, less than 10,000, I know that. But it is one of the largest in Belize and was featured on I think it was 8 most famous cities in Belize. I want to say, yeah, I think it was 8. Maybe 10. I don't know. Something around that. But yeah, it was featured on that, so I do know it. This is very tough. Incredibly hard for South America this week. So, I mean, we start out with a tough Guyana, which after some thinking, so Guyana, I don't know too much, but I think like Bartika's here, and then as you go up, you have that funny name that's like Three Brothers or something. And then I think the city here is like Anne Regina? I think. Again, could be either misspelling something or maybe I'm messing up one of the words, but I think it's an okay guess. I really can't recall anything else that's like on that, because it's kind of on the slope back down here. And Bartica is like way further down, like practically in the sound. So don't think it's gonna be that. I think Anne Regina is probably fine. So this one I'm not getting because it says it's in Suriname. If it was in French Guiana, I'd get it, because the French Guiana side of the river is Saint Laurent. I think Saint Laurent. Saint Laurent. I probably pronouncing that terribly, but I'm trying. But yeah, I don't think I'm getting that. The French Guiana one is really fun though, because I don't know if it's Cayenne or Cowrao. I know very few cities in French Guiana. In fact, I only know 4. I know Cowrao, Mana, which is right here, Cayenne, and Saint Laurent. But like, dude, I have no clue where Cowrao actually is. I just know it's in French Guiana. And Cayenne, I know is somewhere near the center. But given if this is Anne Regina, these dots look really similar size. And Cayenne's a pretty big-ish city. Like, it's not big, but it's big. So I'm gonna go with Cowrao. And if it's anything else, I'm not guessing it. The other one, I'll put Saint Laurent, but it's not gonna be right unless there's a mistype here and it actually is French Guiana. Then yeah, I'm not getting that one. Okay, so South America here. This immediately what stands out is these two are pretty simple, but this one, like, is this gettable? Like, am I dumb? Because I have no clue. Unless this city is famous for something else, like it has some interesting fact about it that people might know. How do you know that? Because I mean, I don't know. He said he'll accept either the Brazil or Uruguay side. No clue. Yeah, I really don't know either. So the bottom is Bahia Blanca. I am confident in that. If it's not, I'm a moron. And this one he said is Paraguay, so it's Foz de Iguaçu is the Brazil one here with all the fun waterfalls and stuff. But over here you get Ciudad del Este is the Portuguese Paraguayan side. I don't think that's the word. Why did I say del Este? Ciudad del Este. But yeah, that is the city. I think that's pretty good. So we have 2 rounds left, just Oceania and the random country, which I'll reveal in a second. You might have already seen it though. So this one is a pretty tough Oceania. So immediately what stands out is we have a Darwin suburb. It's not Darwin because it's a pretty big dot, or it's a pretty small dot. So man actually went out and gave Darwin suburb, which is convenient for me because I learned all of the 1K places in North Australia, or Northern Territory. There aren't very many, by the way. And I believe the biggest suburb of Darwin was Palmerston. And I really can't get a huge grasp of where this actually is within that area. So I think Palmerston is a decent send. I'm going to go with it. The New Zealand's pretty tough because Napier and Hastings are 2 fairly similar sized cities right around here. But I want to go with Napier because I know it's the coastal one and Hastings is inland a little bit. And the center of this dot looks like it's on the coast. So I'm going to go with Napier there. This one's a little bit harder. I'm trying to think of it. I know there's a city down there, something called like Alacau. I think it's like Alocau. But I don't really remember if that's. I'm gonna put two answers. Oh wait, no, I can't do that. I'm gonna put Alacau. I don't know if it's right, but we'll move on. So the mystery country this week, or random country, is Finland, which is nice because it's European. So I know smaller cities in it. But yeah, that should be nice. So I believe this top one, or not top one, but this one over here should be Vasa. And then as we go down, I believe that is Pori. And then over here, Joensuu. I mean, I'm finishing up Europe 50K. All of these are 50K cities. I don't think any of them are 100K, if I'm correct, but they're all 50K though, so they're sizable. Anyways, that is all. I will cut to when the results are a thing. See ya. Ladies and gentlemen, okay, so we are back with the results. So, results of this quiz, we did very good. We actually got first. We beat Reina, so that was cool. Enjoyed that. And I believe I beat her by quite a bit, but I don't remember. So we'll see at the end after I go through all these. I've done a little, these came out 2 days ago, so I've had time to go through and check them out and see if there's anything interesting or anything worth sharing about these places. So got all these ones right. I'll skip past some of these because most of these are pretty easy. Got everything here. I was happy with getting Bolzers there and Thun. Those were two really good gets. Al Hudaida, Salala, Jazan, got everything here. Isfara. So this was my first miss, and literally no one got it. So, that's fine. If no one else is getting it, I don't think it's super notable. This was the random Kyrgyzstan one that was like in all of that border gore. So, just no one knew it. It was it was a very small town. I could see why no one knew it. If you did get that, you were probably cheating. We have Taraz, Namangan, North Sentinel Island, Phuket, and Tanguy. So yeah, all of these I got. Most of them were relatively simple. I could see some people missing some of these ones, especially like Jazan here. Al Hudaida, not super well known. But yeah, most of these were pretty gettable. Miyazaki, Ulsan, and Ningbo. Again, this was a pretty easy East Asia round. I'm not very good at East Asia, but I got all of these, so that was nice. Luwena, Kikwit, and the one I missed here, I was pretty sure was Tbilisi, but it was Maringao, which is a city around the same I think it was less population, but the dot looked very similar, and it was like right next door, so I don't blame myself for missing that. It's fine. Okay, and then we have Dapang, Kaya, and Benzu. So I got both of these. Benzu was the one that was like in Sayuta. I don't know how the percentage for this one is the same as this one and this one, but good on you, man. I don't I don't understand how this is the same known as these, whether that's a cheating moment or whatever. Regardless, we still won. Okay, then we have Poughkeepsie, Lewiston, and Sherbrooke. So this is way harder than I thought it was. The Lewiston I was almost sure was Portland, but evidently it was not. It was Lewiston, which is a city pretty close by, but it has around half the population. So that was my misjudgment on the dot. I thought that was a bigger dot than it was, and, that led to me missing that one. And this Poughkeepsie, I've heard of, but I was never going to guess that. I had forgotten that city existed, so it was a little bit north of West Point, which was the answer I put. They're both on the Hudson. It's just, I just didn't know that one. Sometimes you don't know them. So, Ciudad Obregón, got that, Bakersfield and Lubbock. This was kind of an easier North America. I enjoyed this one. And I was proud of getting these, because this was a tough Central America. We had Dangriga in Belize, La Ceiba in Honduras, and Bernardo Rio in Cuba. Bernardo Rio being probably the easiest of those. La Ceiba also being pretty gettable, but Dangriga, I'm happy that I was able to get. I think me and one other person got it, which is probably Reina, but I'm not sure. All right, and we got Ana Regina, that was Guyana, Albina, and Cairo. So this was a very tough South America. This was up in the Guyanas area. So Ana Regina is in Guyana. Albina was our Suriname. So this was, no one got this. This was the city opposite of Saint Laurent. Le Roy. But it's apparent after some research, it is one of the larger cities in Suriname. I've just never seen this before. So yeah, it is not a super gettable town, but I guess I know it now. Hopefully, I'll remember that. So then we have Khao Rao. This was our French Guiana one. Most got of the round at only 15%. So this was fun. Good. I'm glad I got this one as well. That was a proud get. And then South America number 2, we had Bahia Blanca. Argentina, that was a pretty easy one. Then Chui Chui. I don't think I actually... Well, this was the one that was... It was the either Uruguay or Brazil. Pretty much impossible. I don't know. 2 people got it, apparently. Good on them, man. I can't help but say I'm a little bit suspicious, unless that city is way bigger than I thought it was. But yeah, good game. If you actually got that and you like weren't looking on a map, then that's crazy. Ciudad del Este, that was the Paraguay one. Pretty easy, just the city opposite of Foz do Iguaçu. And then now we have Oceania. So Oceania was... I have a story for this one. So Napier, I got that. I just double guessed on Hastings. So Palmerston City was the thing I was thinking of for Darwin, but it ended up being Humpty Doo. And after some further research, I found an insanely cool story on Humpty Doo. So apparently, Humpty Doo is home to this famous poltergeist from more than 20 years ago called the Humpty Doo Poltergeist. Even though the house was actually in McMinn's Lagoon, it's called the Humpty Doo's Poltergeist, so we're giving it credit. This it was like a... I can't say it was a real poltergeist because I don't know if you believe in that stuff or not. But, dude, this was, like, crazy. There was, like, stuff getting thrown around this dude's rooms. Like, a bunch of stuff, like, being written in tiny little pebbles or, like, in his yard and stuff and in his, like, bathroom. Yeah, it was pretty crazy. All right, and then the last category we had... Yeah, Alito, I was pretty proud. I was the only one getting that one. And 2 people got Humpty Doo, so congratulations for that. I don't know if... I doubt Refob knew about the poltergeist story, but he probably just saw a funny name and put it down. But nonetheless, interesting to find out. So, Vasa, Pori, and Joensuu were our 3 Finland cities. All relatively large Finland cities here, all above 50k, so getting all of those, of course. And that concludes the week, so... Let's look at the results here. We know we came in first. There's your most guessed and least guessed cities, if you want to take a look at those. But yeah, new highest, by the way. Uppsala with 84%. Highest amount of people getting it. And we had 3 zeros this week. So if we scroll all the way down here, should be able to see our results. Oh, wait, I skipped too far. Okay, so we kind of destroyed this week, actually. So, first place with 40 points, and then Reina getting second with 31, and everyone kind of just tailing after that. So, I'd say pretty damn good performance. I am happy with that. Yeah. I mean, that's all I got to say. So I hope you guys have a lovely day. And as always,